Practical applications of the Iceberg Model. In many cases, if not the most, there is only a very few amount of information available, or what may be known as the obvious things of a matter, which are located at the top of the iceberg, while the real information and details, or the set of data that you get into the heart of this matter, and work on shaping it, either to be not available or hidden, and it lies at different levels under the water surface of the ocean, which separates the top of the iceberg from the rest of the body of the mountain, which is hidden in the depths. Accordingly, the iceberg model can be used as a principle, or as a structure to represent many topics, problems, or crises, in order to discover their synonyms, examine and manage them in the required manner, and for this, we can use this model to manage many issues. Managing different issues by Iceberg Model. Educating and training of students, as well as human resources in organizations, business institutions, and companies. Discover the effects of different thinking styles related to decision-making, and find solutions and alternatives. Estimating the costs of various projects and other matters of a technical and time nature when preparing feasibility studies. Forecasting the risks and finding opportunities related to different businesses, through the help of the iceberg, which is subject to modeling and simulation technology. And more other things. In fact, the iceberg model not only illustrates the different dimensions of an issue, but also provides insight into how to create effective change within a system. Through what so-called leverage points, where an ability point is located at a place within a system that it represents an organization, or a business institution, or a company, or a country's economy, or a living body, or a city, or an ecosystem, etc. A small shift at this point may lead to major changes in the entire system, knowing that the more deeply we dive within the iceberg, the greater of our ability gained to change the system for better performance. In other words, changing the structures and methods of mental models have a broader and farther range of interaction than instantaneous shifting burden. If we rely only on the event and our reaction to it, the best we can do is what we will take in order to correct the matter. And this will be repeated routinely, to follow events without thinking about change in any way, which can benefit us in the future, towards not reproducing these events. If we often act quickly to fix the immediate problem, or manage the urgent issue using pre-existing solutions that have proven successful in the past. As for some simple, one-dimensional events, this approach can work well, but it will obviously fail if the problem is more complex, more than one dimension. Because in this case, we are only dealing with the symptoms of the problem, not the underlying causes creating it. But when we start noticing the pattern of one of these events, we have more choices, we can anticipate what will happen, also we can plan to counter that. Since when we start noticing patterns, hence we can start to think about why the same events happen over and over again. Also, when we begin to pay attention to the basic structures of the system to which this event relates, we will begin to see where we can change what is happening. And then we are no longer at the mercy of the time-spanning structure of the system, hence we can begin to identify the way of thinking and the mental models that create those structures to be what they are on them. Changing the model used by the organization, business institution, or company is considered the highest point of ability that has been reached, and this can lead to a real transformation, and provide the possibility of restructuring the entire system, and overcoming the biggest challenges, and this is what is emphasized by the thought towards change in the paradigm surrounding environment and sustainability that has occurred over the past few decades, as this has moved from a marginal concern to a central one. In order to translate this into a sort of practice, let us get acquainted with this example, which is entitled How to Form the Mental Model of the Classroom Teacher in front of two cases of students. The first student is studying hard and is disciplined, and the second one is lazy and is undisciplined, he always trying to evade the study. The mental model of the teacher in the first case will refer to the tendency to create an incentive system for him that focuses on rewards in a conducive environment, while the mental model of the teacher in the second case will be directed to the establishment of a more rigorous authoritarian structure, which would create certain patterns and events within the family dynamic of this reluctant student. The conclusion indicates that, by using the iceberg model, you can unpack the events, patterns, and structures that each member can see, and use this insight to create the desired transformation.